good morning. Russell Hotel's going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. Today is Monday, so that can only mean one thing: that daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. Oh, excuse me, that daily check-in with Tiffany and Russell of Hotels. So last week we missed Tiffany, or I didn't do it last week. Did I do it last week? Yeah,
Did
no.
you?
Did we do it last week? There was something came up
You
or
did not.
whatever. Oh no, we did not do it because I had a meeting. I had a Zoom
You,
call, so we could not have done
you
it.
had a thing, and it was my birthday.
That's
So
right. So happy belated birthday to Miss Tiffany. What are you, 25 now? All right. Happy 25th birthday, Tiffany.
thank you.
Maybe about 15 years ago. But anyway, that's all right.
It's okay. It still counts. It's all right.
Oh boy. So we've been a week removed from doing this last time. And normally what we do, I mean, every Monday is devoted to Tiffany coming on, asking questions, talking about, her travels and things like that. I'm not sure what we're talking about today because normally it's like a loaded gun. I really don't know when it's gonna go off. But I mean, it's up to her, right? Hopefully, I can answer some questions or know what the hell she's talking about. But anyway, once again, this is the daily check-in. I do this Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Mondays are devoted to having Tiffany on, and we just discuss, things that are going on in the industry from a meetings perspective for the most part because she is a meeting planner. I am a hotel site selection person. So there you go. So anyway, let me make sure the comments are open. We're live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube. But let me just make sure the comments are open because you guys can make comments in real time on YouTube. Okay, if you don't subscribe to my channel, please do so. Like and subscribe to my channel, Russell of Hotels, and that way you get the notifications when I go live and all that kind of stuff. And then you can make comments in real time because that's what it's all about, right? Isn't that what it's all about, Miss Tiffany?
Yes, that's all about. Thank you. And I appreciate the intro. So normally you just say, hey, we're talking. So I appreciate you designating me as the meeting planner in our conversation.
I always do. I don't know what the heck. You must be
I
on
don't
something
think
today.
I think you get too comfortable and just be like, you know what it is. It's Monday. We got Tiffany, and then you just go right in. So
That's
for
not
for those
true.
that don't
That's not
know,
true. That's not true.
all right, okay, Russell. But either way, I appreciate the warm intro.
Well, good.
It
You
is
better go on.
Monday. Happy Monday.
Yes, yes.
Happy
Happy Monday.
Monday.
Okay, so anyway, what's going on? Catch me up. What's going on? Was your fourth okay? Was your birthday? How was your birthday?
So yeah, my birthday was it's so funny. My birthday was chill. So I made a post about, didn't do a birthday trip, didn't do a birthday party. It was low
Well, you
key.
did enough
And
trips already. What do you know? A
I know,
birthday
I
trip. You've been
know, I
traveling
know.
all forever.
I've been trying to explain to people, that travel kind of takes a lot out of you. You know what I mean? So sometimes you just need that downtime, and that's exactly what birthday was. I did some full time. I got a birthday pedicure. You know,
Ooh.
um, yep. Shout out to the BFF that treated me to a birthday pedicure.
Yay.
Dinner, and I felt legitimately relaxed. And then, to follow it with a holiday weekend. Oh wait, no, I still had to go to work the next day. But still, a few days later, it was a holiday weekend.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
It
Yeah.
yeah. It was great, and I really appreciated, like I said, the downtime because I realized I've been traveling for 5 of this past 6 months, so
Wow.
it's
That's a
okay
lot
to
of
be home
travel.
sometimes.
That's true. That's
It's
true.
okay
It's
to be home
okay to be home. And so, you can turn down trips every now and then. It's okay not to take that next trip. It's okay.
I know. You know what? I actually do. There are a lot of there are so many, and I feel like I'm in a good place now, building in my career, that I do get those invites that I do have to turn down, which is, it's a good thing to have, right? So even though that I have been traveling, I'm not traveling as much as I could if I did accept everything that was offered. But I'm just, you know what? I'm looking forward to July. Honestly,
To
July to
when?
me is
You looking forward to what?
July. July, the entire month of July.
Okay, well, damn,
No
it's down there.
travel.
Okay, well, you got 3 weeks
No.
left in the month. Okay. Now
Well,
you looking forward to it? You didn't
Well,
say
I'm
that
looking
in
forward
June.
to the rest of the month of July.
Okay, you're looking forward to the
Absolutely.
rest of the month.
Absolutely.
Okay, okay. Because why? Why are you looking forward to the rest of the month?
So typically July for me is a slow period where I don't have these these deadlines. I am able to kind of pace myself as far as what's ahead, and we've been talking for a while. I told you I contract a lot of meetings, and this is the first month this year that there are no meetings. There are no workshops that I'm doing for the month of July. We have August set up with, well, it's in the works, September, but I just look at this month as more of a look ahead. What do we have going on for fall? What do we have going on for winter? And even what do we have going on for 2026? So it's a great, because it's like the mid year, it's a great time to review. And I feel like people, are in that space of reflecting on, the past 6 months and looking to ahead. I don't know. That's what I'm doing.
Okay,
But,
that makes sense.
well, no, I did want to throw it back to you and just check in with you because we're halfway through the year.
Throw it back to me. Throw it back to me. Yeah, yeah, we're halfway. Yeah, halfway done.
I
I
mean,
didn't realize that until you said that. But yeah, we're halfway through the year, and July is a good month to kind of sit back and reflect, right? Reflect on what happened the first part of the year, and what do we have to look forward to the second part of the year. Meetings sometimes, some of the summer months meetings are down a little bit.
right.
Not they may be getting booked this time of year for the end of the year,
Sure.
but they may not be taking place. This may be just a time because holidays and the travel kind of people are doing more family things than work related travel.
Right.
So hotels are probably catching their breaths and seeing what's going on the last 2 quarters of the year and things like that. So
Or
yeah.
they're transitioning to more of a leisure travel or weddings, and that's another thing. I mean, my primarily market is corporate. So when you think about looking for dates in the summer, you're competing with wedding season, you're competing with leisure. So I don't know. I mean, you're the hotel expert. I mean, you see
That's true.
it taking more of a downward, but I think it's just a different type of business in July.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't
probably
see
more
as much as
leisure, less group stuff, corporate group,
right.
maybe less association, but more
Yeah.
leisure type of stuff. And when I mean leisure, I mean more transient business, more people traveling on their own, not necessarily
Yep.
groups that are
Right.
traveling. I mean, there can be some sports groups that may be traveling depending on the
Yep.
destination and location or whatever, but primarily, I mean, they're still catching their breath because they're taking a break from the bread and butter, which is the corporate business or the association
Right.
business and stuff like that. So,
Right.
so yeah, so they're catching their breath too, trying to figure out what's going on the rest of the year. But yeah, there are more leisure transient business like LA. I mean, if there's anything coming in, you talking, some of the areas like say near Universal Studios and things like that. But yeah, that's going to be a lot more leisure stuff going on there. So it depends on what's next to you, what traffic generators are next to you. What a traffic generator is? It's basically like an amusement park, a mall,
Oh yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever, freeways, easy access to freeways. Those are traffic
Right.
generators in the area. So it just depends. I mean, it's no one size fits all for everything. It just depends on where you're located for the most part. I mean, some of the southern hotels in southern states, there's a lot of family reunions going on this time of year. Right
Right.
around Fourth of July or maybe even after. I mean, my family reunion is every other year. We did it last year. It was in Vegas. Like the next, not yeah, it would be the next week. So yeah, if we're having it, it would be next week. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't be the fourth; it would be after the fourth, a week or so after
Yeah.
the fourth. So like next year, I got to start looking for, where we're going to be meeting for next July
So
26th.
you got to
So
start now. Yeah.
exactly,
So
exactly. Gotta be, yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. And we're supposed to
Well,
do San Diego area. So
that'll be fun. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. So we'll see.
Well, you know what's interesting is we were talking about different locations, and even though it's a summer slump period, what I've noticed is the different locations, depending on where you're going, you can get some really good rates for group, for corporate. And I say that to say, in Chicago, no, Chicago hotel rates are through the roof. But what I've noticed last year when I was in San Francisco, they were like, if you got something in June, July, come on in, because we're going to be more busy in the fall for conferences. When I was in Savannah, they were like, if you want to come in July and August, we have some really great rates because nobody wants to be down here. It's so hot, So it's really interesting. And if you are looking to do something, just have to do something in the summer months and want an attractive deal, thinking about those different locations. And that's where a good planner comes involved, because we know the trends. We know suggesting different locations. And if you're flexible to that, you can get some really good rates for the summer.
Yeah, you
Do you agree?
can. I do
Yeah,
agree. No, definitely, definitely. It just depends on the area, the location.
it really does. Yeah.
Yeah, like say Palm Springs, the Palm Springs area out here
Right.
in the summer is like 200 degrees, or Phoenix or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, rates have gone up. If you start averaging the summer rates, because I remember several years ago, I'm gonna say within the last 5 years in the Palm Springs area, those rates were probably still in the 90s. They'd be like $99 or whatever, or really low 100s. But now, because it's becoming more popular in the summer, they've raised their rates a little bit. But their rates are still cheaper than if it was in season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, and it depends on are you going Sunday through Thursday? Those days make a big difference too. Because are you going on the weekend? Everybody's going to go on the weekends, okay? Everybody's going to go on the weekends for the most part. So of course those rates are going to be higher. But if you can go like midweek or Sunday through Wednesday or something like that, and then you're going to catch some deals. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so yeah, that's why
Oh,
like you said, for groups, if you're, that's why you do in, contract someone like you or myself, and it's our job to find that stuff out, right? It's not your job. It's our job to find it for you, right? If you're a group, 2 rooms or more, or whatever. So that's where we come in handy during that time. But yeah.
It's funny you say that. I am sourcing a location for a retreat, and the venue was like, we don't have any weekend availability. But if you come during the week, you can have whatever you want. Why? Because they serve a lot of weddings, and they're just pretty booked out. So, yeah, to your point, you come during the week and you're flexible, you get some good deals. Another reason to work with us, this is why, and I always have to say this, because people think I go to these shows for fun, and it's really business.
You do, don't you?
Everybody says I just do this, but no, when we go to these shows, one of the first questions I ask in one of my 10-minute conversations is, what's your high season? What's your low season? What's your show season? Because every venue is different. Every location is different. And if I have a group that is budget conscious, I'm like, hey, can we get you in July over November? You know what I mean? So those are the questions that we are trained to ask at these conferences in person. And then I get them to tell me. And, that's when I reach out and say, okay, this is what you said. No take backs.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, flexibility is key. Flexibility is key. I always let groups know that, the more flexible you are, the more you're likely to find some better rates. If you're not flexible, then you're going to get whatever they give you at that point. But if you're flexible, I mean flexible, it can be the next week. You know what I mean? Depending on what it is. The next week can even mean a big difference, a big cost savings. So just be flexible. Give a series of dates. Give me at least 2, maybe even 3 dates that you can have this program on, this meeting on, or whatever. I understand sometimes when it comes to corporate, we're set on these dates because it's our board meeting. We got to. Okay, I get it. But if you can come up with at least 2 dates, it can save money. I know some corporate groups don't care about saving money, and that's fine. It's not everyone. A lot of people do want to save money, and a couple of days, shift your program a couple of days or a week or whatever, can equal some cost savings for you. So
sure.
Keep that.
Well, and even just even budget wise, transferring some of that money. So even if it's like we have a healthy budget, we can afford it. But mind you, if we bring down some of those room rates, we can shift that cost into something else. Now you can, have a light leisure show in your AV, or you know what I mean? Like you can put certain things into that money and still, cover that budget. So again, that's the difference between working with a professional and not, because those are the things we look at. We don't look at, okay, this is the price. We look at the full, right? The full picture. So, yeah, that being one of them, being conscious to those dates, and so I guess I hate to say that it's not necessarily being budget conscious, but more of budget awareness, right? It's more of, we're not saying that you can't afford it. It's saying, why should you pay it if you don't have to?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I like that. I like to look at you coming up with some stuff, some innovative stuff.
No. Can we should get that on record, right? Make sure, yeah. I might have to watch the replay.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so summer months, right? And then just looking ahead, summertime is a good time to look ahead. What's your fall and what's your holiday looking like? End of the year, it's around the corner. Let's be honest, right?
What is? I'm sorry, I was singing. What'd you say? What's around the corner?
I mean, the end of the year. We're blinking, you missed it.
Yeah, it's almost there.
So when you think about this, slow season with sales managers, now is a good time to come in and be like, well, what you got for me for the end of the year, and get them now before they're, booked, and get those really good, attractive dates, because there's only so few that are right before that, that certain holiday. Now is the best time to go reach out to them and, get it locked in.
Well, yeah, it's a good time for that, and it's also a good time for the sales manager to reach out to you, and hello.
I gave up on that. I gave up on that. It is, but I don't look for that. Hello.
Well, I'm saying it. You don't have to say I'm saying it. It's a good time when it's getting a little slower on property level. Maybe we can reach out and build those relationships, and maybe throw in a hey, I know you working on this program, or I know you have this program. Have you considered, have you narrowed it down, whatever. But start the conversation with trying to find out about them first before we get into business. Okay. How you doing? Hey, I understand you had a birthday last week. Oh my God, happy belated birthday. And then you get into the other stuff, right? So those things are important. Knowing people's birthdays or anniversary dates or the names of people's kids and how many kids they have, those things are important. So get to know your client or prospective client. It'll go a lot further than just call someone, hey, you got anything for me? Come on now. Who's doing that? So anyway,
you know what, Russell? I love that you say that, but I have a feeling that you living in the old school way. I don't see any of that you just said nowadays. So I don't know where it's at.
If you say so, okay. If you say so, I don't know if I'm living the old school way. But
it's funny we talk about this old school, business development, sales managers, and this new way, and it's like we want the old way. We want those, relationship buildings. But like you said, you just mentioned like, you got anything for me? That's the majority of what I get. I would love, how I am. I love a good, warm me up. Yes, talk about my birthday. Find out about me. I'll talk to you all day. But it's so far and few between these days.
Yeah, no, I'm just giving hints to people. They can do whatever they want to do with the information, but it does go a lot further than just calling someone and asking for some damn business.
Agreed.
So people are going to be how they are. However they were trained, that's how they're going to be, which is unfortunate. Technology has taken away the the warm and fuzzies, if you will. Getting to know people.
Train your AI to reach out. Say, look, every few months, hey, how you doing? And look, you can put the birthday and have have that as an automation.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
true. You know what I did
But
last week? You know what I mentioned this, and I don't know this is off topic, but I was talking on one of my daily check-ins. It had to do with doing video, like a video greeting or whatever. So for
yeah.
people, and did this, and someone actually responded to me. They saw the video that I did, or the daily check-in, and they text me video message. It's like, hey, Russell,
Oh,
Hotel, just
nice.
hello, blah, blah, blah. Hopefully we can connect soon, blah, blah, blah. And I picked up the phone and called that person. I said, I could not believe it. I said, oh my God, no one has ever done that. So those things do work. I mean, and they make a big difference. It resonates with people and they make a huge difference. And guess what? I'm going to remember when I'm sourcing that particular destination for a client, whatever, that's going to be the first one I think about because of they listen to what I said and they actually send me a video message. So those things do work,
Ooh.
especially for she said I'm gonna start using it, especially for the clients that don't get back to me. Like maybe they, for whatever reason, they haven't
Right.
responded to my emails or whatever, my phone calls. I'll do a video message to those hard to greet or hard to meet clients. I said whatever you need to do to start, that's fine. But a lot of people are not using that. So the people that are using that, they're gonna get the upper hand over anyone else that's not using it. So I'm just saying. I'm saying the
Ooh.
stuff works. So listen to some of the stuff I'm saying because some of that stuff works. So
That's a
anyway.
good call out. And that's definitely not off topic. I like that idea. It's so funny. You know things are out there, but you don't do them until you're like, huh, that is a great idea. Why am I not doing it? Another thing too, and it hasn't happened lately, but I remember every so often somebody will LinkedIn me and do a voice message, and I thought, oh, this is cool. I hear their voice, I hear their energy, I hear their, and I thought it was cool, but it didn't. It doesn't. It's not consistent, but I just thought at the time, I was like, oh, I'm going to remember this person. Thank you. Because I did feel like you appreciate my connection. So, like you said, anything that works. And I'm glad that person reached out and said, hey, I'm going to do this because, okay, if this works for you and it doesn't feel forced, absolutely do it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I think so. I just think more
Yeah.
people need to do things like that, embrace it, and people say, "Oh, I'm shy." Well, then, if you're shy, you shouldn't be in sales. Okay, that's all. That's what I got to say. If you're shy, you don't want to do certain things, then get your ass out of sales and do something else. Okay, go to
Something
accounting.
like that.
Go to accounting or HR. All right.
Yeah, right. Where you don't have to talk to people.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Come on, people.
Support.
Let's get with it. Let's get with
I
it.
get it. I get it. But yeah, well, you're giving some good gems for salespeople. So hopefully they see this and my inbox gets lit up about reconnecting. Because I love that. Yeah, it just doesn't happen often, but I do love when they do connect
Yeah. That's what it's all
on a
about.
meaningful level. So.
Yes. You're absolutely right,
And
Tiffany.
then, like I said, it's July. It's the best time to do it. Like you said, if you have some downtime, go through. That's what I plan on doing. I'm going through my emails, and I have some that are starred that I really wanted to have more of a follow-up conversation from all these events, and that's what I'm doing now. A couple on my list are some AV companies. Because that gets tricky. There's so many, I feel that as suppliers that you'll talk to, but at the end of the day, AV is AV. Like, you know what I mean? So whether you're, picking one or the other, usually it's a relationship. Usually it's if they can, bring down the cost. And because I'm looking at some of these processes and that we're doing with these workshops, we're looking at 2026. One of the things in the budget is what are the AV costs? I have 6 months of data of AV going in-house hotel, but from these AV suppliers that I met, can you bring this down? So I feel like this month is a good conversation to have a few interviews, and see what happens with that. So that's on my end to do a little bit more of my inbox and reaching out. But like you said, I'm not in sales, so I don't have to do it as heavy, you know. But as a salesperson, it's definitely a great time. And I will say on my end that I'm more apt to be wanting to be head up for conversations. I mean, because 3 months ago I was like, please don't talk to me. I am in the midst. I have 6 workshops this month.
Yeah.
But now, come in my inbox and hey, can we, have another conversation? Can we revisit the conversation that we talked about? Especially if you reference something that, specific that we talked about. Hey, do you remember when we were drinking, we had happy hour and you mentioned that you hate AV costs? You mentioned that, I'm going to meet with you.
When you were drinking, remember when we were drinking and you mentioned you hate AV costs? Wow.
You remember when you had that blueberry wine in your hand and said how delicious it was? And you made a yes. I promise you, if you email me that, I will be like, yes, we can have AV. Absolutely.
Unbelievable. Wow.
No, it's the same thing you were saying, making a personal connection.
Oh yeah. That's a personal connection. Remember when we were drunk and following over each other? Yeah. They probably don't remember because they're following over each other too themselves.
Oh, come
and they don't
on.
remember. But anyway.
Come on, they're in sales. They remember.
Anyway,
Give them some
that's
credit.
true. That's true. All the salespeople do is drink. Yeah. Anyway, so they know what they're doing.
Give them some credit. And it's funny the things they remember because I just talk and I don't even realize what I'm talking about sometimes. Somebody will mention and be like, do you remember your mom, was coming into town? I'm like, did I tell you that? I didn't know that. So it's so funny, the information that salespeople remember.
Wow. That's all I can say is wow. Hey,
and that's all I'll say about that.
Hey, you know what? It happens. We're there to, you say you're not there to have a good time, but it sounds like you've been having a good time with these things too, right? That's what you started off this thing saying, oh, we go to these things, we don't have a good time, we're working. Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
It's called networking.
Oh, networking is different. Okay.
You do what you have to do. And if that's trying that blueberry wine, then that's what you have to do. Famous last words. Do what you have to do. Wow. Okay. Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it. Might as well be you, Tiffany.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a tough job. It's a rough job, but somebody's got to do it, and it might as well be Tiffany.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
It's all about it's all about doing everything in moderation. We're not there just drinking, falling all over ourselves. But you know what? It's all about having a good time. And there's the libations are normally flowing. So that's a good thing. We all partake in it a little bit. But that means that that loosens up the planner, to get more information out of them. Obviously, that's all you need to do with Tiffany. Okay, she's talking about her mom coming and meetings and hating AV costs or whatever.
If you mention anything about my mom, then we're instantly friends because clearly you were listening. Clearly,
There you
Clearly, we want to be friends because you said something nice about my mom. So
so
but
Tiffany's giving the blueprint. She's giving the blueprint to how you reach her. Okay,
I'm telling you.
Mom drinks. What else?
No,
talking
my
about
mom
AV
doesn't.
costs. No. I'm saying mom is one thing. Drinks is another thing. High ass AV costs. That's another topic. These are all topics to get to Tiffany. Is what I'm saying. These are all topics to get to Tiffany.
So it's funny you say that because when I do some sites, when I site a room, I'm always like, well, my mom like it, and I remember mentioning it to a sales manager, saying like, oh yeah, this is set up great. My mom would love it. And then they reach out to the email like, hey, I hope we, won your business over with your mom and you too. You know what I mean? So like stuff like that, it's memorable.
I'm saying,
But
those are topics. Those are memorable topics for you. So
bring
those things up. So if you're doing business with, or you want to do business with Tiffany, and Tiffany has how many? Just so we remember, how many programs do you do a year?
Russell, I can't even keep up. I have 1 week
10,
of
20,
contract.
15, 30.
No, it started out as 25. So we had 25 sourcing, 25 workshops nationwide. And you know what happened, Russell? You know what happened last week?
No, I don't.
They were like, we're doing so well, let's add a few more. I'm like, guys, we're almost at the end of the year. So it's now 27 different locations that I'm sourcing. And then they're like, oh, well, this is great. We're talking about next year adding 10 more. So we're talking about 37 different locations for workshops upward to our highest workshop was 150. We sourced for 50 to really go over some really great content, and that's one contract. I just were still kind of in the mix last week about a retreat that I'm excited to work with, and I'm not going to say who it is quite yet. But it's looking like it's going to be a location that I visit from one of these conferences that I went to. So I do say that it works. Bringing out planners to these different destinations that they normally wouldn't have seen works, because now I get to suggest that. And that's really what it is, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're hoping to see if that goes. And once that goes, I will definitely talk about that location. But to answer to your question,
I forgot.
Yeah.
Damn question.
To answer your question, we're looking at maybe we're looking at least 35 different programs, different locations, different venues.
Wow.
As of now, because we're I'm going to be doing some things in Chicago. Yeah, so let's call it as that. Let's revisit this question at a later date. But as of now, it's 30 separate locations that I'm sourcing for.
But
this year.
When you say different locations, that's different destinations as well, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So, like I said, that's why I'm loving the downtimes, because I can get my bearings. I can get my bearings up and prepare for fall. So yes, I need to interact with at least 30 sales managers that can get me into contract, that can great program to provide wow-worthy service. So we come back, and another thing too is we're coming back to some of these locations next year. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm just throwing it out there for people that are listening. That Tiffany has some businesses right there. 30 different hotels, 30 different, possibly even 30 different destinations. You said upwards of 150 people. Come on now. Come on now. So so just remember that. Reach out to Miss Tiffany. And say you saw this on Daily Check-In with Russell of Hotels and Tiffany, or Tiffany and Russell of Hotels on Monday. So there you go. So that's what it's all about, right? That's what it's all about. Just coming on here, talking about what we talk about regarding meetings and events and planning this and planning that, and relationships between the hotel folks or CVB folks and planners and hotel site selection people. That's what it's all about. So there you go.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. So another thing that I am working on is how do you say this? Well, you know what, Russell, we had talked about in the beginning of the year about putting more content. You were the one who encouraged me with doing more. I started.
You weren't doing anything. You weren't doing anything.
Dang, you don't have to call me out like that. I said we were going to do more. You didn't have to say I wasn't doing anything.
Okay, you weren't doing anything until I said, hey, I want you to come on this daily check-in and let's do it. Remember that? That was my idea. That wasn't your idea.
I do remember.
Okay.
Well, it's good for you to have the idea instead of me saying, look, I want to come on your show and I want to talk every week. Like,
I wish somebody would say that. I wish somebody would say, hey, I want to come on your show.
Nah.
And say I want to talk about some stuff. I wish people would. That'd be fine, depending on who it is. No, I'm joking, but no.
Okay. I have to say I'll put the call out.
Some people will ghost you. Remember that one person? I'm not gonna mention no names. Remember this? okay, this
Nope.
person,
Nope.
this
Nope.
person that I thought we were, kind of getting to be friends, right? That's what I thought, right? And this person at one of these conferences that we go to said, "Oh, I want to be on your show. I want to come talk about blah blah blah." I'm like, "Okay, this is great. This is great." And came up with a date. I send the link. I emailed all this kind of stuff. I need a bio. I need a headshot. I need all that. She sent me all this stuff, right? And the day of, she ghosted me. And I haven't heard from her since. That was probably 4 months
Oh
ago.
no.
That was
So
probably
you
about
still
4 months
don't
ago.
talk?
I have not talked to that person, and I'm not one that's gonna reach out and say, "Hey, well, maybe there was a no, 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 no." She knows. She knows there's an issue, and the issue was not on my side; it was on her side. So I'm like,
Oh.
who does that? Who ghosts you and doesn't like?
Oh.
If you don't want to do it, just say, "Okay, hey, you know what? Timing was bad. Whatever. We'll revisit another time." Okay, that's fine. But just to completely 100% ghost you, that's ridiculous. And that's to me, that's not that obviously that hasn't sat well with me.
I know, about to say you're still not over it. So, moral of the story is never ghost Russell. He will bring it up live on his show. Do not do it.
I mean, who does that? And I'll see this person again. That's the thing. I will see this person again.
You will, yeah. That's what I'm
I
saying.
will see this person again. It just didn't make sense. It doesn't make
that's
sense.
the first thing that's going to come out. Yeah, don't ghost Russell. Yeah,
Who does that? Oh man,
it's
I thought I was for that. I thought I had moved on, but obviously I haven't. Okay.
Yeah, it's still. But anyway, my point is, we had started at the beginning of the month talking about our content goals and things like that. And another thing too is what?
It was the beginning of the year, not the month. The year.
The beginning of the year. It was January, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It just seems so long ago. I don't even know what I was gonna say.
I don't know.
So I started working. Well, I have this newsletter that I do each month and blog posts, and I've been blogging, but not putting the content out there. So that's another thing of my goals. And interesting enough, I sent a blog post to someone and I mentioned the venue we were at, and she did a site and mentioned to that person that I wrote a blog. She's like, "I'd love to see it," and I'm like, "Oh, why am I not putting it out?" So that's another thing too. Just putting more work out there, especially the venues and the hotels that I see and my reflection of them. I don't know. It's one of those things where I wasn't sure. It was just kind of. It was more of a creative outlet. So
you weren't sure what? What
I
weren't
wasn't.
you sure?
You know what? Blogging to me is. I overthink it, because I'm like, is it captivating enough? Or, does it sound too editorial? Is it not, informative enough? So I keep overthinking it. So I just kind of write for me. And that's why I didn't know. Don't do that. We are live on the air. Don't do that.
Unbelievable.
Don't do that.
Just put it out. Just put it out. If you're doing it, you're taking the time to do this, right?
Yeah, but sometimes it's just more of a creative outlet. But yes, I was taking the time to do it.
A creative outlet. Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Just put it
I
out.
went to a creative school. I went to a creative college, and that's what we did. We journaled, and we had creative outlets.
How cute is that? Oh, that's wonderful. I love it. I love it. That's good.
Anyway, okay, whatever.
Just put it out. Whatever you're working on, just put it out. Okay.
All right.
Let the chips fall where they may. People don't like it, they'll tell you. Or they won't say anything at all.
No. I don't want you to tell me. I think that's the point. Don't tell me. You don't like it. Just keep scrolling. Moving on.
But at least it's there.
Yeah.
Because there's probably some valuable information in there, regardless of what you think about it. There's probably some valuable information for someone. And all you got to do is reach one person. It's not about reaching the masses. You reach the one person that it's really going to resonate with. I mean, because if I did content based on the whole world, I'd be pissed off all the time because I'm not trying to reach the whole world. Although I would love to, but no, you're just trying to reach that one person. So do it one person at a time. That's how I look at it. But guess what? You'll miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You know what I mean? If you don't put it out at all, no one's ever going to see it. That one person or the masses, no one's going to see it if you don't do it. So just do it and make it happen. Just make it happen, lady.
I hear you. That's the whole point. That was my point. I'm putting it out there. So I have a newsletter coming out.
Get your head out of your butt. You know, you're overthinking. This is what I tell my kids. This is what I tell my kids.
I have it already coming out this week. It's already in motion. We're already doing it. All right.
Okay, good. This is what I tell my kids. I said, keep your head out of your butt. Okay, keep it simple. Keep your head out of your butt. Okay.
Gross image. You can't come up with something else.
You sound like my mom. My mom glad she was. If she heard this, she'd be like, "Oh my God, why'd you say that? Why are you saying putting your head up your butt?" She would say something like that. I'm like, well, keep your head out of your butt and just do it, okay? Because the more your head is in your butt, it gets cloudy. Your memory, your thoughts get cloudy.
Among other things, right? Jeez.
So keep it out of there and just keep it flowing. Keep it going, okay? Yeah, so anyway, hey, we're on with Miss Tiffany English. We do this daily check-in on Mondays. So I give her the keys to the show. She basically runs the show, and I just answer questions. But obviously, there's some points that I got to make as well, right? Because sometimes Tiffany be way off on certain stuff.
See, I thought you were gonna say you give me a hard time, which you do.
Well, I mean, that's what it's all about. That's my job. My job is
Is it all about it? Is it?
Yeah, my job is to give you a hard time, especially when you've been out. You work. You say you these meetings that you go to are they're work and all that, but then you find out that you're drinking and trying all these different kinds of wine and stuff. But hey, that's part of it, right? That's part of it. That's part of it. What's your next trip? You don't know?
I don't know. I don't have one.
Okay.
So the only thing that I have, and I did put in my newsletter because I always say, where I'll be next. The only thing that I can guarantee that I'll be at is IMEX, and that's in October. So between now and October, it's up in the air. We got a few things to work.
Have you got a sponsor for IMEX?
I'm working on it.
Okay, I'm just asking a question. This is not a.
I'm working on it. Yeah, I think we talked about this last time. I do need to look into that. Again, why I'm doing my July downtime is some outreach. I'm reaching out to a few people about that.
Okay, very good. About now, are you doing Destination Southeast, which is part of a Northstar program?
I have not applied as of yet. But you are not the first, second, or third person to ask me, so it makes me feel like, and that is a market for me, so it was on my mind to apply.
Okay, I'm doing that one, and guess what I'm going to be doing at that show? Other than, of course, I'm going to be doing meetings just like, I'm going to do.
Are you saying it right now? Huh? Are you making an announcement? Are you making an announcement right now?
Yeah, I'm going to be there speaking. I'm not speaking as I'm going to relax, lady. I'm going to be there having conversations with whoever's interested in having a conversation about their brand, their product, themselves, whatever. So we're going to have some one-on-one time, like 10, 15-minute. I call them conversations, but people will call them interviews. Suitable for your LinkedIn page, all your social media things. So yeah, so that's gonna take place at I can't think of the hotel. I can't think of the city, but it's Destination Southeast, which is August 3rd through the 5th.
Oh man, okay. Hey, Northstar, go ahead and approve my application. Like, let me
send it in already?
I haven't. No.
Well then,
Well, that's
Well,
what
I
I'm saying.
think you.
It's on its way because I have to look. You can't deny me. I have to be at the show with Russell. Give him a hard time. So can I do it? Are you? What are you doing? Interviews? What is it again?
Yeah, you can do it. There's a cost involved for the interviews, though. Okay, just so you know.
Oh, all right. But can I apply for the homie hookup or? All right, we'll talk offline. It's fine.
I don't know what we're gonna talk about,
We'll talk offline.
but yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
this is exciting. Normally, you'll see, I mean, you're kind of making it so, like, by the way, normally you do, like, hey, special announcement, look at me. So
Well,
this is a big deal.
it is a big deal. It's a huge deal. But I mean, you ease into it. I mean, we still have a long time to go
No,
for this. You ease into this, right? But no, I'm
no.
excited. I'm excited. I
Okay.
appreciate the opportunity from David and Shalise for having a conversation with me
Okay.
and saying this is something that they really want to get in front of, and I appreciate that. So yeah, so this is the first, hopefully the first of many of these things that could take place. But it's me having, just like I'm having a conversation with you. I mean, it's going to be a whole production, right? So my guy Bruce Jordan's going to be my producer. I mean, I've already talked to him about it, and it's going to be a whole thing. It's going to be a whole production, right?
It's
So
going to be a whole thing.
it's going to be
Oh
a whole
man, let me get
thing.
my application in before it explodes and now I can't get in.
Yeah.
So are you exclusively doing that and you're not going as a planner with
No,
appointments?
I'm still a planner. I'm still a planner. Hello.
Well, I know you're still a planner, but I'm
I'm still
saying will
doing
you?
that. Yeah,
Oh,
this is going to
all
be
right,
during the breaks and stuff like that. It has to be during the breaks, right?
gotcha.
Before, after, before breaks, or I mean on breaks or whatever. So yeah, so I just find the interest. I mean, people they're going to send these things out via the information that Northstar normally sends out on those
Mhm.
conferences or this specific conference. And if you want to attend or be in if you want to do this, participate, then you let us know at that point, and I'll contact them, and we go from there. But it's, like I said, 10, 15 minutes
Right.
conversation about them, their brand, who they represent. Because, and why am I doing this? Is because a lot of times we go to these conferences and I mean, we do our one-on-one appointments, but do we walk away with really something there where people can see that I was here, I had this conversation, what I do, who I am, how I can help you? No, we don't walk away with that. So this is be a video, 15-minute video. It'll be edited and everything that'll be suitable for your LinkedIn. You can put it on LinkedIn, on your IG, whatever, however you post things. Or maybe you don't post things. Maybe this will be the first thing you do about you and your brand, right? You're the brand first. You represent another brand, right? Whatever, if that's a destination, if that's a
Yeah.
hotel, and then it's for the world to see, right? Because a lot of times we go to these things and we walk away with, what do we walk away with? Do people still know who we are? And that's what you want to do. As a salesperson, this is what I always say. This is what I always say. And some people get it, some people don't. Be the face of your brand. If you're a hotel, if you're a CVB or destination, tourism board, whatever, why don't you try to be the face of that brand, right? Whatever that is. So if I'm the brand of Russell, well, I want to be the face of the brand of Russell, right? I want you to know I become synonymous with the brand I represent. My name is Russell Edmond, right? But I want to be synonymous with Russell of Hotels. So when you think about Russell of Hotels, you think about Russell L. Edmond. When you think of
Yeah.
Russell L. Edmond, you think of Russell of Hotels. So that's the whole thing. So if you work for XYZ destination, I want people, or people should know, it should be interchangeable.
Yeah, I
If you can
love
get
that.
that
I
point,
love
I
that.
think that's a good
Yeah.
thing.
Well, and then what's interesting too. We talk about destinations, and I think we talked about it previously about the energy that you bring. Like, I want you to be excited. If you're promoting Mobile, Alabama, you need to be excited about that. That I want to
Exactly.
go. I've never been, but like you keep hyping it up, I need to go. So
Exactly.
that's the brand
Exactly.
too, and the energy. And I love that everyone's on board. We love North Star, and they're on board with having the video, having this visually, taking from these conferences that we go to and then bringing them to social media. And now people are saying, oh, we get it. Or, oh, we get this brand. Because, I really get what you're saying about, connecting your brand, whether it's your company or your destination, because me as a planner, that's what I gravitate to. Like I'm like, hey, what's up, Chattanooga? Like, and when they give this big old smile, because I remember that conversation we had. Oh, I still have my Chattanooga cup. That's why it's probably on my mind. But
yeah,
I
you got your drink in there, huh?
It's water, ice water for my throat. I can go to any conference, whether it's IMAX, whether it's a Northstar event, and we've had conversations, and it's literally the same conversation every time. I want to go to Chattanooga. I can't wait to go. Oh, you should come. And literally on repeat, that's what we talk about. But that's me connecting that energy and me wanting to go with that brand. So now you're going to have this video takeaway,
Exactly.
which is, so
yeah,
I'm excited.
And this is the thing. Not only are you going to have this video, say 15, 20 minutes, my guy Bruce is going to break it up into like bite-sized pieces, like kind of intro or whatever, right? So kind of teasers, sizzle reels, if you will, right? So so it's not just going to be just this mass 15-minute thing. He's going to break it down for you as well. Boom, 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 boom. So you can get like 10 postings instead of just one, right?
Oh,
hello?
now
Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said?
We talk about content, so like break it up. I like this.
It's
You know what,
creating
David?
content.
David, I approve. David, thank you, Northstar.
Yeah, I know David is right there on his
approve.
hands and on his hands right now, waiting for you to approve it. He's like, "Oh my God, we did a good thing." I'm sure he is. Yeah. So yeah.
He was waiting. He wasn't sure. He wasn't quite sure until this moment.
Yeah. He's
To me,
there.
it was like, yes.
Yeah, he's in London waiting for you to. He's in London or Singapore waiting for you to give him the approval.
I would be like, David, I approve. He's gonna be like, what? Where are you?
I can picture him like waiting, like,
All right.
Tiffany.
I know.
Let's go ahead
It's
and
all
do
right.
it. No, but no. Shout out to David.
All
I
right.
appreciate
So
it.
Destination Southeast is gonna be. I'm just calling it. It's gonna be great. And it's so funny. I said people were asking me. Shout out to Greenville, one of my favorite Southeast destinations.
You know. I love
Because she was like, "Hey, well, I see you." They were just in Chicago, and I missed them. They were at
You were so
had so many
busy.
conferences. I know there's so many conferences, missed them, but she each emailed me, so now I gotta be like, let me apply, let me get in. But one of those things is I booked in the beginning of the year with them just because we had IPAC. I was familiar with the destination. Called up my girls. They, and I say girls because, they have so many different markets, but I fell in love with a person. So Melissa does the association market, but I don't do association, but I still, connect with her. And then Rebecca does corporate, so I love these two. And then Lori, gosh, I love Greenville. Greenville is great because they all kind of come together. So I know Lori, who I will probably never work with, she does like the specialty market, but collectively, I love that CVB. And I say that to say that relationship has been built where I'm going to be bringing business, in the future. And we're probably going to do something next year. So it's great to have those events to reconnect, to, just kind of further that nurturing of that relationship because they're great. So that's just one example. And I know they're going to be in Destination Southeast, and I'm getting excited. Because
I see you are. Wow.
Well, no, I mean this is what we do, and this is why we do it. So it's great when it all goes hand in hand.
Exactly. It's all It's the energy. You mentioned energy a couple of times, and it's all about creating that energy that maybe you didn't know can even exist, right? And that's what I'm all about, trying to create some good positive energy for brands that need that positive energy. That like Greenville. I didn't know Greenville. I didn't know anything about Greenville, and we ended up booking something. My client ended up booking at least one program there in Greenville. So, and I told David that too. And I said,
Okay.
these third and fourth tier, city or destinations that we don't think about. They have some great options in these destinations. Unless if
Yeah.
you don't know unless you go, or you don't go unless you know, or whatever. One of the
Right.
things. Right. But yeah,
Agreed.
so I think it's our jobs to try to put that stuff out there to let people know that hey, there's some other options than these big cities that are charging these astronomical rates and you don't get anything. But you go to a
Right.
Greenville, I mean, a walkable city, a nice community. I mean, just and they do a great job, and they have space just like any other destination. So I'm
Agreed.
like, this is crazy. I was so impressed. So, with everybody, with the whole entire team. And then, of course, like I said, we took it a step further because my client did a site there and she ended up booking there. So that's what I'm talking about. So, yeah. So looking
Yeah.
forward to it. I'm looking forward to Destination Southeast. I'm looking forward to talking to some people, having some conversation. It's all about conversations, right? It's not about an interview. It's about a conversation. We talk about the brands, create some excitement for the brand, and then you walk away with something a little more than just those one-on-one appointments that you're not going to follow up on. No,
It happens. It happens. But
did I
yeah.
say that? Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but no, you walk away with something a little more than that. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So no,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to creating that
Okay.
energy. So yeah, so no, it should be good. It should be good. It should be good.
Cool.
But
Cool.
anyway, okay, now we've been on here almost an hour. Okay, so
Yeah.
okay, real
We'll
quick.
wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Okay, wrap it up. What do you have? You have anything? Any parting words? Come on now, I ain't got time for dead time. Any parting words, lady?
Keep building those relationships.
Oh my God.
Keep nurturing. Keep growing.
Oh,
Be top of mind with planners because we mentioned a few, and why? Because they're top of mind. So,
Yes.
and make it easy. Make it easy on us. Because, like I said, I got 30 programs. I ain't got time to, dive and research. Just make it easy. Reach out, be nice. Send an email on my birthday. I'm still waiting on some birthday emails from some of these suppliers. I thought we were friends, but be top of mind. So.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
Look, you opened the door for it. I was ready to wrap it
You
up.
heard it here. I didn't say it. She said it. So no, I get it. I get it. I get it. It's the little things that make a big difference. So I mean,
Absolutely.
reach out to your clients. Be top of mind,
Right.
like Tiffany said, and be visible. Just be out there. Just make
Absolutely.
stuff happen. And this industry doesn't have to be that hard. Sometimes we make it hard, especially when it comes to sales and all that stuff. We make things so hard when you can just do the basic stuff to get
Right.
to be noticed, to be top of mind. But if you're not doing just the basic stuff, then you're never gonna make it. So, and
Right.
that's just returning emails. That's promising what you or whatever you promise. I mean, you deliver what you promise. I mean, those are things those are little things you just have to do to make a big
Right.
difference. So just continue that and go from there. But anyway, hey, that is it. I'm Russell of Hotels. This is the daily check-in with Tiffany and Russell of Hotels. Remember, every Monday, Tiffany is on here, okay? Tiffany's on here with her insights or questions or whatever, from a meeting perspective. So, and we appreciate her for coming on. And once again, happy belated birthday to her. And remember the people that, hotel destinations. Tiffany has 30 something programs that she does and she's going to be doing on an annual basis. And if you're looking for business, you need to reach out to Tiffany. It sounds pretty simple to me, but from this point on, I'm going to ask you every Monday, has anybody reached out to you, right? Because do you repost this as well? Do you repost this as well on your social media?
Yeah.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You're giving that goofy look, so I know you don't.
Do I repost it? Okay. Oh, look, like I said, it's the month for putting out content. So I will be reposting every time
Okay,
on
you should
LinkedIn.
break it down as to where I started talking about this, and then you
Oh,
can
I'm
just
not doing all that. I'm not doing all that. I'm just gonna just watch the replay.
whatever.
I'll give
Anyway,
points. I'll give you points, and I do reshare it on my YouTube as well because I have a whole playlist of all our
do
conversations.
you do it
So
on
yeah,
LinkedIn? Do you replay it? Do you share it on LinkedIn?
sometimes.
Well, okay, you're talking about. Let's see. Now I'm about to get pissed off. Now you're
Just
talking.
tag me. Just tag
Listen,
me.
listen.
I'll
I
reshare
tag
it.
you all the time. You're talking about creating content or posting content. You're not even doing the
Nice.
basic stuff. I just told people to do just the little things. You're not even doing that. Okay,
I
so
just
now
told
I'm getting
you that's
ticked
this
off.
entire month. That's what we're doing. Content
Okay.
resharing, all that
Okay.
jazz.
You see
All
how
right.
people can talk the talk, but sometimes they
got
don't walk the
you.
walk. You see what I'm talking
I
about,
got
people?
you. All right,
So
you're gonna
anyway,
get tired of me. I'm about to tag you, post you, message you. Oh, are you subscribed to my newsletter? It comes out this week, either Tuesday or Wednesday. We don't know yet, but it'll be out this week. And I'm just gonna add you. I'm not even
that's
gonna wait
fine.
for you to.
I've
Right,
been
I'm
on
just
here an
gonna add you.
hour. We've been on here an hour. This thing is not supposed to last an hour. So anyway, you
All
guys
right.
have a great day. Thank you guys so much. Happy Monday. Have a great week. And as always, peace.